Everyone, and welcome to this webinar today about Autodesk Forma. So the title is Design Smarter, Elevate Your Projects with Autodesk Forma's AI-driven planning and designing a greener tomorrow with Forma. For our webinar today, we'll have our great customer success specialist, Tolina W, joining us to give us a lot of information about how Forma is changing how we design projects, how we think about early stage concept design, and use sustainability metrics and AI embedding our processes. So a little bit about us as Aenta. We are a company based out of the UAE, Dubai. We started in 2017, and we are Autodesk Gold partners, Smartsheet partners, and we help companies with their digital transformation journey. So we like to call ourselves digital transformation enablers, understanding each organization needs and guiding them through that process. So what we delivered, as we mentioned, we have different software partners, but of course our services go beyond just the tools that we use. We think about the company's needs, the key processes, the key people involved, and information to provide the best services possible. Some of the awards we've received as Partner of the Year for the Emerging Region from Autodesk and Digital Construction Technology SME of the Year, as well at the EMEA Digital Construction Awards. And this reflects our expertise and efforts in the region, our success stories with clients. So feel free to reach out to us after this webinar if you'd like to learn more. These are some of our clients in the region. We work with different companies, consultants, contractors, and even beyond the construction industry, because with Smartsheet, we've also worked in medical industry and more. So now, without further ado, let me introduce you to Tolina W. She's our customer success specialist, a great architect that graduated from the German Jordanian University and has a lot of experience with different software tools. Maybe you've watched her previous webinars on BIM Collaborate Pro and Twinmotion. I suggest you watch the recording because they're amazing. And today she's going to talk to us a little bit more about the design processes and how Autodesk Forma is transforming our industry.
Thank you, Kiro. Thank you. And hello, everyone. My name is Tolina W. I'm a customer success specialist, as Carolina introduced me. Now, regarding today, let me walk you really quickly through the agenda. So we will be talking about AEC forces of change, which will then lead us to introducing Forma. And then we will give you a little customer success story of how Forma helped one of Autodesk clients. And then we're going to show you a technical demo, walk you through the cloud solution, and finally, we have a Q&A session. So make sure if you have any questions, make sure to type them in the Q&A box that you can find. I think it's up there. And also you can type it in the chat, or you can just raise your hand at the end of this session. So let's begin. Yeah, to start with, we're going to talk about AEC forces of change. So several interrelated factors are pushing us to rethink how our products meet customer needs, especially in today's industry context, where demand for products is high and product complexity is growing, where cloud computing, advancements in AI, and proliferation of digital tools, which means that building projects generate mountains of data, but that data is often fragmented and inaccessible. And where the reality of remote work means collaboration and data sharing is more important than ever before. So current tools and approaches were designed with a different paradigm in mind. We often hear from the industry that the reality of current workload is fragmentation. Architects and planners, industry engineers, construction engineers must navigate a maze of file formats, poor interoperability, and file data. While modeling capabilities have expanded, existing processes are still highly manual with very limited decision support. So designers struggle to use tools that generate a prohibitive level of detail, often housed in desktop files, ill-suited to today's hybrid and collaborative work environment. So productivity suffers as designers navigate this fragmented process. Data and digitalization should instead be providing efficiency gains. Now, our view is that the best place to begin to improve these fragmented processes is at the very, very beginning of a new project in early stage planning. So in front of you, you can see the entire project life cycle. We can see that it begins with planning, then we go into design, then into construction, and finally we go to operation. While modeling capabilities have expanded, processes are still very highly manual with very limited decision support, as we said before. Now, when the design is more fluid, architects and planners have to make choices very quickly, often without the data to support key project decisions. So these decisions have lasting consequences all the way through the operational phase of building. Now, the stakes of these early stage decisions are very high, with lasting impacts throughout the project lifecycle. According to a company called Tankta, more than 50% of a residential project value can be realized in the early stage design phase. So, key project decisions made at this point, such as massing or even layout, have lasting consequences. So, as the design processes into later progresses into later phases of the project, those fundamental design choices become hard or even impossible to change with current tools, which are usually optimized for specific project phases. Now, you can see here, we can see at the x-axis, we have time. So we have the design and all of these factors. And on the y-axis, you have effort. So here we can see how when you start early, you can make sure that the effort and the cost are cut at the very early stages. Now, there are many complex and often competing requirements in planning and early design stage. So, sustainability for architects, for construction, for engineers is about building codes, regulations, site and parking, program, and community. Sustainability targets can be also carbon, cost, energy, and materials. So, these may be some of the primary drivers, and there could be many others. So evaluating multi-dimensional trade-offs is inefficient with simple trial and error. Getting started with an early and integrated design process and empowering architects with tools to make informed decisions is foundational for exploring these insights. Now, today, sustainability is decarbonization, and even more than that. We started the conversation today about what's now and where to start. To achieve sustainable outcomes in architecture, engineering, and construction. Now, before we take a deeper dive into how to design for one of these opportunities, I'll summarize three keys to creating impactful design. To begin with, efficiency. So, it is being efficient with our consumption of natural resources, materials, and energy consumption to reduce carbon and even cost, and being efficient in our architectural processes to save time and to save money as practitioners and for owners of the built environment. The second key is integrated design and collaboration. So, what do we mean by that? Leading more integrated design processes, bringing together knowledge and expertise through collaboration. And finally, we have data-driven insights. So leveraging technology for data-driven insights very early in the design process to create impactful outcomes. Now, we have learned all of these information about AEC forces of change. Now we will come about today's main topic, which is Autodesk Forma. Why are we talking about this solution today? And how can we achieve sustainability through Forma? Let's learn more about Forma and how we got to Forma. Now, in the last 40 years, the industry passed different transformations. The first one was the move from hand drafting to electronic drawings with CAD and even AutoCAD. So the second one was approximately 20 years ago with the introduction of BIM. It was moving from 2D to 3D with model-based approach, and it was 3D parametric modeling for all disciplines in AEC. And finally, about 6 to 7 years ago, we started to connect the data in the cloud. We believe that today, with COVID, connecting the data in the cloud is the way moving forward. All of the industries adopted that concept. Now, we don't think connecting data to the cloud as a new digital transformation. It's not disruption, it's already happened. So, Forma will realize the future of them with an outcome-based approach. But I want to be clear, Forma is not a replacement for our existing portfolio. It's just a different way of thinking. Now, today, if you look at our portfolio, some of our customers design with CAD, some with 3D parametric modeling. Some will also use connected BIM and connect their data to the cloud. Others will use Forma for part of their design. For some products, for some use cases of the project itself. Now, what is Forma? What is the solution that we have been talking about? Autodesk Forma is an intuitive, collaborative, cloud-based AI software that empowers architects, urban planners, real estate developers to design high-quality site proposals. What does it do exactly? It creates 3D mapping of your 3D mapping models of your site and its surroundings as well, using automatic data sets in very limited time. It's maybe even 2 minutes. So to test your site and proposal and receive accurate analyses for more than 100 criteria, such as noise, wind, and so on. And lastly, to streamline your early stage planning and design workflows with intuitive tools and generative design. Now, I will not go into the details or the details of Forma, so that's why we prepared this key features slide for you to show you what are the key features, what does it do, in a very summarized matter. So, Forma is very intuitive and easy to use, as you will see in a bit. And it has advanced analyses, including noise, wind, and so on. You can also sketch your plan in the building that you will be creating. So there's the floor plan sketcher, there is a fully rendered 3D environment, and it is you can operate it with Revit as well, and I will show you how you can do that. You can also visually compare your proposals to see which proposal works best with you, which proposal appeals best to you. And there is rapid cloud computing, smart 2D and 3D design tools. You can also import and export file formats. And there's the automatic data sets such as terrain, building. There's also parking design. And lastly, free viewer access. Now, here you can see the 5 capabilities around the conceptual modeling, conceptual design, automations, analyses, and interoperability, especially with Revit. So let's have a closer look at the capabilities of the first offering. We have conceptual modeling. So Forma will radically simplify the process for users to start a new project, enabling the setup of a full 3D model of their entire project area within just minutes. Users will be able to bring their own data or even buy data sets for selected geographies via the data marketplace, all seamlessly within the project itself. Next, we have the conceptual design. So Forma will offer free-form building design tools, enabling users to creatively express their design intent and create complex designs in full 3D just in minutes as well. Thirdly, we have automations. So Forma will offer building design automations out of the box to radically speed up early explorations of design concepts with simple yet powerful parametric tools. Users will be able to quickly develop many design concepts and variations to make sure that the full solution space is explored at unparalleled speed. And then we have analyses. So Forma will launch the analysis engine, which will enable both machine learning based and engineering grade analysis. So users will in real time be able to assess information and performance of their designs across key density and environmental qualities such as sunlight, daylight, winds, microclimate, and so on. And lastly, we have interoperability. So to ensure all models developed in Forma flow seamlessly downstream and to enable our users to work in planning and design concurrently. So Forma will launch with a Revit add-in for seamless, enabling a two-way file, less sync for seamless interoperability with hybrid workflows. So with the first offering, we will enable our customers to work more efficiently and deliver better project outcomes in early stage building design. They will see productivity gains from quick project setup, design automations, and flow of data downstream to Revit. We will enable design optimization by providing tools to quickly evaluate and improve the desired qualities of a design. And then we will enable our users to see the environmental analyses from day one of the design process to meet sustainability requirements and targets. And being in a cloud tool, we will improve collaboration and coordination with simple browser based access, model sharing, free viewer access, and connection to Revit. So make sure to stay for a little bit more so you can see the technical demonstration and you can see how does this cloud solution operate. Here we have the early phase sustainability analysis. So there are a variety of early phase analysis tools in Forma, such as daylight potential, microclimate analysis, and so on. So these are some of the analyses that are present in Forma. Now, before we go to the technical demonstration, I just want to show you a customer success story. This is a company called AFRY or AFRY, which had to do a planning for a Swedish city. So AFRY's use of Autodesk Forma revolutionized urban planning by employing interactive 3D modeling. They efficiently tackled flood risks, optimized space, and enhanced stakeholder communications. So this approach enables faster iterations, data-driven decisions, and increased product capacity without compromising on vision. So after we leverage intuitive tools to create sustainable urban spaces. Now, at the end of this demo, you should be able to create a project and populate proposal and base layers, conduct simple massing and study, and gain insight into key project metrics, analyze sun hours and daylight potential, compare results of different proposal options, import an existing model into the Forma interface, and send a proposal to Revit for further downstream design. So everything that you have learned and listened to in the previous slides, don't be overwhelmed by all of that. Now you're going to see how very user-friendly Forma is, and we're going to walk through it together. Here I will demonstrate how to create a product and populate proposal and base layers using Autodesk Forma. In Autodesk Forma, you can start working in 3D environments from day one, from your company's online hub. So let's begin with the first demonstration on how to create a project. Firstly, you have to click New Project, and you will then need to specify the location of the site by typing in the address. So here, my site is present in Dubai, and I'm writing the street name until I can see the site itself. Then you can adjust the bounding box as you see fit. So here, I'm just going to turn on the satellite mode or the satellite image so I can see better where my site is. I'm just zooming in. And on the right, you can see the total area, the length, the width of the site that you have chosen. Once you are done, just make sure that the area is correct, everything is fine, and confirm selection. Upon entering Forma, you will be directed to a data marketplace where you purchase available data for your site. So the availability and quality of different types of contextual data will vary by country, of course. In this example, I'm ordering contextual data and building, data, terrain and roads to get started. So here, you just enter whatever you want to order. Make sure that the box is in the right area, the size, the boundaries, and then you just press on order. After that, we just wait for a few minutes. So you will be able to specify which area you would like to order data for. The data sources will then be added to the library located on the right-hand panel that I will be showing you in a bit. Now, after that, I will order the final one, which is the road. Now, you don't have to order the same data that I have ordered, but this is just an example. Note that via the Import tab, you can also bring your own data if this isn't available through Forma. Next, I'm going to preview the layers that I have ordered and add them all to my base layers. I'm going to do the same for my building data, which is now loaded. Let's give it a while. And you can choose to remove certain conceptual buildings if they will be a part of the site that you're going to develop or out of the site. So as you like, and then press on add. And here you go. Now we have added all the layers we ordered. Now, before we proceed, let's take a look at the different elements in our left-hand menu that we can access via the Navigator tab. So the proposal section at the top is a list of all of your design options for the current project. You can press the plus sign icon to create new empty proposals or right-click on a proposal to duplicate, rename, or delete it. Next, we have the layers, which is a list of all the map elements such as the terrain, in which case they got added to the top of the project slide, and in which case they are form part of your base. So what is a base? A base is a project-wide context that applies to all of your proposals. And as you can see, the conceptual buildings, data, and roads by default get added there. So here we can see the roads, the buildings. Now, if you edit a base layer, the changes will be reflected in all the proposals. So this base is used in, you can, however, test different base situations per project to thus understand your design options in multiple contexts. So if you want to edit your base, just press on edit and you can highlight the relevant layer you wish to edit. In this example, I want to remove a certain building from my base layer. So I will select buildings and then select the building I want to remove. So notice that there's a message up there saying that whatever changes I will make will affect all of the proposals since we are editing the base, sorry. Done. So now we want to add my site limit. So here you have more than one option. You can either press on the rectangular shape, the circular shape, or just the pen shape. So you can draw your site limits. I'm just moving them around, making sure that I have my correct site that I want to edit. Great. So you can then continue to add other relevant information to your site. But before that, I want to add my site to my base. So I want it to be reflected in all of the proposals. So just right click, move to base, and that's it. Now I want to continue to add other relevant information. I'm just going to turn on the satellite image to get a better understanding of the current site. So here I can see that there's a road of trees that I want to add on the right. So I'm just going to go to vegetation, area with trees, and make sure that you add the area that you want trees to be added to. It's very simple using the sun or even the rectangular shape, the circular shape, whatever you want. Once you are done, press enter. And then you can choose the height of the trees and the distance between the trees. So just let's make this 7, let's say, and the distance between them 6 meters. Now the vegetation is present in the layers. It's not in the base. Here, I just want to create a new proposal. So just press a new proposal. We have 2 proposals right now. Now we can see that in proposal number 2, the trees are not present. That's because if we go back to a proposal number 1, we can see that the trees are one of the layers and they're not one of the base layers. So I'm just going to turn up the satellite mode to see better. And now if you want the vegetation to be present, proposal number 2, right click, move to base, and that's it. Now we go to proposal number 2, and you can see the trees present there as well. And there you go. So that's it for the project creation. Now I want to show you some of the fundamental design toolings in Autodesk Forma. Let's move forward. So we will be using a combination of the tools available in the right-hand menu. We have buildings, vegetation, limits, and 3D models, or generic shapes, let's say. So since the site is relatively large, I will start by splitting it into smaller spots. So here I'm using the surface tool. Afterwards, I'm just going to make a road in the middle of my site to split it into smaller spots. Let's say it's a 10-meter wide shape that represents a road from the site limit. So I'm using the surface tool under the generic shape to represent the road, defining its width by clicking enter and to close the shape itself. Now to subtract the surface from the sides, I find it useful to move the generic shape into my base layer. Next, I will select the side limit followed by the shape, and then you want to subtract it from, and there you go. Now I'll repeat this procedure for all the rows or splits I want to make in the particular side. Now I have the divided plot into various subplots. Now here I'm showing you, we have this constraints, if any constraints apply to your site itself. Let's say this building cannot go over 30 meters. And now I'm going to trace this constraint by the building. I'm just adding the basic building right here. And you can make it either 30 or you can make it less than that. But here I have my constraints within. Great. Next, I'm going to do another building. So I'm just going to trace my site limit. I'm going to go up. So let's make this a tower and make another tower next to it. You can just type in the number of meters, or you can just like trace it by another one. Now I just want to hide the constraints. Perfect. So once that I'm done, I want to change the function of the building that I have right here. So you just go to function and you choose which function you want to choose for the building that you have over here. Now, you can either choose one of the options that you have. You have residential, commercial, unspecified, or you can create your own function. So here I'm going to choose residential for all of these buildings, but I want to make the first floor of each of the residential floors buildings as commercial. So I'm just going to select them, go to the height, I want to change it to 5 meters because it's commercial, and then change it to commercial. Now you can see the functions very clearly. Now, once I'm done, let's make a green area or a courtyard in the middle. So how can we do that? We go to generic surface. I want to trace the surface that we have and change the color, let's say to light green. So it can be a green area, a courtyard. And we can add some trees to that. So go to vegetation, tree line, traces, and there you go. Of course, you can change the height, the distance between each tree, and then you'll be good to go. Now, once that I'm done with that, I want to create a hotel. So I want to create it using line building. So line building follows the line that is present. So you can either choose to make it the center line. So just make it 3D so it's clearer for you. You can center line it or left, right align it. So I'm going to align it left and walk with the side limits that we have over here. Just make sure you press on it. And once you are done, press enter to have your building. So I'm done with tracing it. I just want to go to 3D to view it better. And now you can change the height of the building, the width of the building, number of floors. So let's see how can we change the width. Now let's make it 24 or something like that. And 20 floors. It's also a tower. So the width, let's say, is 24 by now. But it looks a little bit weird, so we're going to go back to 12. And yes, so now you have your line building. You can change the function. I'm just going to type in hotel and choose the color of the function that we have right here. So let's go with the color orange, let's say. And choose the color, choose the hotel function for it. Now I have my hotel ready. I just want to create the last building and the last site limit plot that we have right here. So we're going to go back to building, a basic building. We're going to trace the shape and just create it right here. So I believe by now it became easier for us to understand all of these, how to create a building, how to create the functions of it. It's very user friendly, as you can see. And if you want to propose a certain proposal to your client or whatever, the owner, it's very easy for them to understand the whole function. So I just want to specify the function as we did earlier. And that's it. Now we have our site ready for all of the analyses that we want to create. We can move around. You can also see the trees behind, the ones that we created earlier that are in the base area. Great. So now we have learned the fundamentals of design tooling. Now we are going to review next. Let's go next. How to create analyses and visual comparison. So here we have our project ready. Let's look at the options that we can do right here. That's perfect. Perfect. Now everything is ready and we're ready to do the analysis. We have sun hour analysis, daylight potential, wind, the microclimate, we have operational energy, noise, and lastly, solar energy. So for my side, I want to create, let's start with the sun hours. So just choose the date that you wanted the analysis to be created in. So let's choose one of the hottest days of the year, July 20. And we will run the analysis. It takes a couple of minutes. And then you can press on the banner that you can see up there, see analysis result. We wait for a couple of seconds. And then there you go. We have our sun hours analysis. So you can see that we have different colors. There's 11 down there. And there's this inspection point that you can add to the model itself to see how many sun hours it gets per day. And there you go. Like here, it's very sunny. There, it's very shady. I want to try to make it a little bit more shady because we're in Dubai. You can also filter it to see where is the shadiest part and back to the normal one. So since we're in Dubai, we want to create a new proposal. So I want it to be a little bit more shadier in some areas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate the proposal that I have created right here. I'm going to name it, let's say, proposal 1A. After that, I want to change my line building. So I'm just going to delete it to create a new one. Press on it, press delete. You can go to the 2D view to view it even better, add a floor plan, go to line building, and just create it, but in the other way around. Create your building. So I have created a different shape as well, just to see if it's going to help with the shade area. Now we're going to go back to 3D. And I just want to save a part of the building that we have in the middle. Maybe shaving the building from the middle will create more, let's say, a shade for the area itself. Now I'm just specifying the function again to make sure that it works well with me. And then I'm going to press on the middle building. So just double click on that. And you can save it off really, really easily. So it's more of that you're drawing your buildings, you're using different models to make sure that your proposal is the most appropriate for your build project itself. I'm going to run the analysis again, same day, same time of the year. And then I want to go to compare because I want to see both proposals next to each other. So I just want to put proposal number 1A and proposal number 1. There we go. I'm going to hide these over there. And now you have both of your proposals present. Now, if you want to see the difference, whether it's shadier, whether the sun hours have decreased or so, we're going to use the inspection points again. So we're just going to go here and there. So here it's a little bit shadier, as we can see. Now here it's much shadier. So this helps you to choose which proposal works best with you. Here we achieve sustainability before even designing the model itself. So here we're just in the planning phase. As simple as that. Now you can also take a screenshot, let's say. You have a camera position, you can save the file as a PNG or JPEG, and that's it. So here we learned how to analyze, and how to compare different proposals options together. Once we are done with that, let's learn how to import an external OBJ or IFC file to Forma. So we're going to review how to import an external building file such as an OBJ or IFC in Forma. We can import IFC and OBJ file types. So let's navigate let's navigate to the library that we can see on the right, on the left panel, sorry. Okay. So we're going to navigate to the library button on the left panel. Next, we're going to select import and drag and drop your file. We're just going to grab it and drop it where we should. There we go. Once uploaded, the file will be located in the library itself. So here, a loading circle will appear. You will see a thumbnail preview image where you'll then be able to place the file type onto the canvas itself. Then you will place the imported file building onto the project canvas for further editing in Forma. And you can also run a sun hour and daylight potential analysis, wind analysis on an imported building in Forma. Next. So we will cover how to send a proposal from Autodesk to Forma Revit. All right. Let's say that we have finalized our initial building in Forma. We've run numerous analyses and we are happy with the results. Now we can send this proposal to Revit for further downstream design. Under the proposal in question, select the ellipses over there. Now you can see two options and just expand the Revit options. We can see send to Revit and download the Revit add-in. So first you download the Revit add-in. Once you are done, just click and send to Revit. Then open a new project in Revit. While logged in the same account of Forma, navigate to the mapping and site section in Revit. Then there you go. There you should be able to see the Forma and add in, click load proposal, and then select the proposal you'd like to add in Forma. The load options will show up in the window. Here you can choose if you would like to create wall floors, roof, or even buildings, load and property boundaries, as well as bring in terrain. Make your selection, then select OK. You'll be left with your proposed buildings that have Revit elements like walls, roof, floors, loaded mass families, terrain, and generic models with 3D context. Next, once you have made the necessary changes and you would like to send them back to Forma to run an additional analysis, just click on Update Proposal. So we have learned how to create a new project, input information into proposal and base layers, recall fundamentals of design tooling, analyze proposals and conduct visual comparison in Forma, how to import an external OBJ or IFC file, how to place an imported building onto the project canvas for further editing, and finally, we learned how to send a proposal from Forma to Revit itself. We are done with the technical demonstration and we are ready for any questions that you have. I hope that you have benefited from this session, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Tolina. Amazing technical skills as always. So please feel free to type any question in the chat that you may have. I'm just going to highlight something that you may be thinking. It always comes up, which is the commercial part of software. So rest assured that you already have an AC collection license. You have access to Forma. You don't even need to invest additional resources. If you are still using, let's say, just Revit or AutoCAD and you don't have an AC collection license yet, think about upgrading because you have access to other tools like Twinmotion that we mentioned in another webinar, Forma in this case, and you can start exploring your early stage proposals like Tolina already showed. You can compare the different ideas. Send those to Revit for their detailed design. So it's great to know that if you already have this type of licenses, you can start testing Forma right away with your projects. This would be my recommendation. Of course, it's a product that was launched like less than a year ago, so it will continue to be upgraded and updated, and we are very excited to see where it will go. It's really, like Tolin already mentioned, another industry transformation that's going to take design to the next level. So if you have any other questions, please leave them in the chat.
Thank you, Carol.
So one question would be, where would you find additional learning resources? Because it's still a tool that is relatively new. What would you recommend for people who are viewing the webinar if they want to learn more resources?
Definitely. Now you can type in Autodesk. There you can find multiple videos. So you can go to search videos per, let's say, product. There's this very short catalog which has 5 to 10 minute videos that you can watch over each product that you want to learn more about. So we can send you this link as well. You can go visit it, and also you can watch all of our tutorials, our webinars, our trainings. They're present at our YouTube channel as well.
Awesome. So there is another question. This one says, when the data will be available for the Middle East area? So some data already is available for the Middle East area that Tolin showed, which is OpenStreetMap. And do you want to the data that's available for Middle East, Tolin?
Yes. So the data is available for the Middle East area. As I told you before, if the question was about the ordering data for the models itself, now if the question was about that, basically each country has its own data, and if you don't find the data that you need in Forma itself, you can import it as well. So everything is present in different countries as well. Yeah. So we have the road, we have building conceptual data, we have even the property boundaries. So it depends where your site is.
Yeah, right now you'll have enough data to do a proposal like Colleen showed here in the Middle East. Of course, some countries may have additional data that can be for sale, because the one that we showed for Middle East is free, so you can just get the roads, the streets, and everything. Maybe some other data sources in other countries are paid, if you want to get more detailed buildings or something like that. But with what's there already available, you can start. Okay, we have another question. Can you bring the design from the SketchUp or other tools?
Yes, as we said, you can import an OBJ file or an IFC file, so you can do that.
Yes, so you would have to export from whichever other tool you're using these file types and then import them as well.
Something really interesting is that there's an add-in that you can use. You can sketch your own buildings in Forma itself, so you can explore around with what you can draw with Forma. We have the 3D generic sketcher as well, so you can use these tools as well.
Yes, remember that when you are using Forma, the main thing that you are analyzing is how the buildings interact with each other, the surroundings, site, all these analyses, like Tolly mentioned, sunlight, noise, etc. So you don't need like super detailed models. It's more about the shape and the maybe height of the building, all the things that will influence those parameters. So, like she said, you can do them directly in Forma.
Exactly. That's what's really interesting in Autodesk. If you have the license, you can go from Revit back to Forma. You can go. You also have this add-in option, which is spin motion. You go and render your model. So everything is present in one platform, and you can do everything together. So that's what really helps for clients, owners, designers, and so on.
Awesome. I think we have one more question. Is there any integration with Revit to do the detailed design?
Yes. As I told you. Oh, yes, please. Yes. So as I showed you, you can take the model that you have created in Forma, and there's this Revit add-in. So it's a plugin that you have to download. It's really easy. You can do it within minutes. Once you are done with that, you can send your model from Forma to Revit itself and add any other design features. Once you are done and you want to make further analysis, you can also send back the model that you have edited in Revit back to Forma, see further analysis, and then you can do whatever you want to the project itself, the model itself.
Thank you, Tolina. So there is another question. Can we use it to design the inside of a large room? Example, a data center. I guess it's more for exterior than the interior, right? Because the purpose is more like the shell itself, or like we said, the shape. If you want to design the interior of the data center, that would be more like with Revit if you want to do the rooms. You can bring it back and forth, as you already mentioned.
Indeed,
What else would you suggest, Aline, for something in interior?
Something interior related, you can go to Revit, or you can also sketch it, let's say in Revit itself. Once you are done, you can take it, go to Twinmotion, render it the way that you want. But yeah, as you said, Format is more of for the whole environment, for the 3D environment, to check in the planning phase. So this will help you really in the planning phase. We have other solutions for other phases in the project lifecycle.
Yeah. There's another question. Does this work with all the Revit versions? For example, 2021 version. I think that the version that you tested with is the latest, right?
Yes, it's 2023. Mm-hmm.
2023. So we would have to see if it's available for 2022. You can try downloading the add-in. If it works, there's an issue.
Indeed.
Thank you so much, Tolina. It's been a great webinar. As we see, there's been lots of questions from attendees. Thank you all for your time. And please, if you would like more information, you want to have a session with Tolina or like demo in more in detail, please contact us with our email, connect@axienta.com, or our website. Also, we are there on LinkedIn, different socials. So we appreciate your time. If you want to upgrade your Revit licenses to AC Collection, also give us a call. We're happy to help.
Great.
Thank you,
Tolina. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.